You see this crystal? If you squeeze it, it generates its own electricity. And this one? It was once used to make dinner plates that slowly poisoned royalty. We think of crystals as beautiful, passive stones, but you're about to discover that's a lie. From ancient poisons to stones that literally glow in the dark, we're journeying from ancient myths to modern laboratories to uncover the most shocking truths about these powerful stones. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew. We count down the 10 most bizarre crystal facts that will completely blow your mind. Fact number 10. It's not the shape, it's the soul. The deception of a crystal's appearance. Coming in at number 10 is a fact that redefines what a crystal even is. When you picture a crystal, you probably imagine a perfectly formed geometric masterpiece. We're drawn to those clean lines and flat face. But here's the mind-bending truth. A crystal's outward shape has almost nothing to do with it being a crystal. Scientifically, what makes a crystal isn't its external shape, but its internal microscopic arrangement of atoms. A true crystal is defined by a highly ordered, repeating pattern. This internal lattice is the crystal's real identity. The beautiful flat face we see on so-called euhedral crystals only form when a crystal grows without being blocked, like an hedral, a cave, however. Most crystals in the world are empty. They grow in crowded environments, pressed up against other crystals. This stops them from forming those picture-perfect external faces. A piece of granite, for instance, is made of multiple anhedral mineral grains. They might look like a jumble, but if you zoom into the atomic level, you would find that perfect ordered structure within each grain. So that lumpy rock in your garden might be more of a crystal than the beautifully polished sphere you bought online, which might just be glass. It's a powerful reminder that with crystals, true perfection isn't on the surface. It's the invisible atomic soul within. Fact number 9, strong but brittle, the paradox of hardness in crystals. At number 9, we have a fact that seems to defy common sense. We think of crystals like diamond as incredibly strong. We measure this using the Mohs hardness scale, which defines hardness as the resistance to being scratched. Diamond, a 10 on the Mohs scale, can scratch any other mineral. Quartz, at a 7, is harder than steel. This is why they're used for industrial drill bits that bore through solid rock. You'd assume this makes them indestructible, right? Wrong. This is the bizarre paradox of hardness versus toughness. While hardness means scratch resistance, toughness refers to a material's ability to resist breaking. And many of the hardest crystals are, surprisingly, not very tough. They're brittle. Think of it this way. You can't scratch a diamond with a steel file. You can absolutely shatter that same diamond with a hammer. This is because the same ordered atomic structure that gives a crystal its hardness also creates perfect cleavage flat planes of weak atomic bonds. When force hits just the right spot, the crystal will split cleanly. Quartz is a perfect example. It's harder than many metals and easily scratches glass, yet if you drop it on a hard surface, it can shatter. That's the difference between its high hardness and its relatively low. This distinction is critical for gem cutting. So the next time you hold a hard crystal, remember its hidden fragility. It may be strong enough to cut steel, but it's also brittle enough to shatter. Fact number 8, seeing double. The bizarre optical trick of birefringence. Get ready to have your vision blurred, because at number 8, we're looking at a crystal with a wild superpower. The ability to make you see double. This isn't a metaphor, it's an optical phenomenon called birefringence, and the most famous crystal that does this is a variety of calcite known as Iceland spar. Iceland spar is a transparent form of calcite, and when you place it over text, the light passing through the crystal splits in 2 separate rays. These 2 rays travel at different speeds, causing you to see 2 distinct images. One image is the ordinary ray, and the other is the extraordinary, which actually circles the first as you turn the stone. This isn't just a weird trick. This property may have changed history. There's a popular theory that Vikings used these sunstones to navigate. Legend says that even on an overcast day, sailors could hold up an spar crystal. By rotating it and observing how the stone polarized the light, they could pinpoint the sun's position even when it was hidden by clouds, giving them a huge advantage exploring the North Atlantic. Fact number 7, stars trapped in stone, the magic of asterism. For our number 7 fact, we're looking at gemstones with a perfect shimmering star trapped inside. This is a breathtaking optical phenomenon known as asterism, from the Greek word aster, meaning star. This magical effect is most famously seen in star sapphires and star rubies. When you look at one of these gems under a single point of light, a multi-rayed star appears to float just beneath the surface. So, how does this happen? The secret lies in microscopic imperfections. The star is created by light reflecting off tiny, needle-like inclusions of a mineral called rutile. These rutile needles, often called silk, must be aligned in multiple directions at specific angles. For a classic 6-rayed star, there are 3 sets of parallel inclusions that intersect at 60-degree angles. To see the star, the gem has to be cut into a smooth, rounded dome shape called a cabochon. While 6-rayed stars are the most common, some incredibly rare gems can show 4-rayed or even 12-rayed stars. Holding a gem with a celestial star shimmering inside feels like holding a piece of the night sky. Fact number 6. Whispers from the Dreamtime. Crystals as dream amplifiers. Moving from hard science into the realm of ancient wisdom, our 6th fact is about using crystals to navigate the world of dreams. For thousands of years, many cultures believed crystals were sacred tools, and one of their most intriguing uses was in dream work. From Native American tribes to Australian Aboriginals, many spiritual traditions have used specific crystals to enhance visions or make dreams more vivid. The core belief is that the unique vibration of a crystal can influence our subconscious during sleep. Practitioners might place crystals like amethyst or moonstone under a pillow. Amethyst is often associated with calming the mind, while moonstone is sometimes called the dreamstone, believed to aid in dream recall. It is important to clarify that while these traditions are deeply rooted in history, there is no scientific evidence that crystals can influence dreams. Modern science would likely attribute any perceived effects to the power of suggestion or the placebo effect. Still, the cross-cultural consistency of using stones for subconscious exploration is fascinating, a concept that has captivated people for millennia. If your mind is being blown by these hidden truths, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification. We have so much more to uncover, and you won't want to miss what's coming up next as we enter the territory of curses and forbidden powers. Fact number 5. The stone with a split personality, color-changing gemstones. Kicking off our top 5 is a fact that feels like pure magic. Imagine a gemstone that's a vibrant green in the sunlight, but when you walk indoors, it transforms into a fiery red. This is a complete color metamorphosis known as the Alexandrite effect. The most famous of these is alexandrite, discovered in Russia's Ural Mountains in 1834. Its incredible ability to shift from a bluish green in daylight to a purplish red under incandescent light earned it the description emerald by day, ruby by night. So what causes this shocking transformation? It's all about the stone's unique chemistry. Alexandrite contains trace amounts of chromium, the same element that makes emeralds green and rubies red. Daylight is rich in blue and green light, so the stone reflects green, but incandescent light is rich in red wavelength. Under this light, the stone absorbs the green and blue parts of the spectrum and reflects. This effect is so rare that alexandrite is one of the most valuable gemstones on Earth. Fact number 4, the cursed diamond and ancient legends. At number 4, we delve into the dark side of crystals, where beauty is overshadowed by tales of death and misfortune. The most infamous example is the legendary curse of the Hope Diamond. This massive 45.52-carat deep blue diamond has a history so riddled with tragedy, it has become the stuff of legend. The story often begins with the gem's origin as the Tavernier blue. Legend claims it was stolen from the eye of a statue of the Hindu goddess Sita, which cursed whoever possessed it. The French merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, who brought it to Europe, was said to have been torn apart by wild dogs, though historical records suggest he actually lived to the ripe old age of 84. The trail of misfortune didn't stop there. He sold it to King Louis XIV of France. His descendants, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, were famously beheaded during the French Revolution when the diamond was stolen. When it resurfaced as the Hope Diamond, the curse seemed to continue. One owner, Henry Philip Hope, saw his family's fortune. Later, socialite Evelyn Walsh McLean, who scoffed at the curse, endured a series of tragedy. Her son died, her husband was committed to a sanitarium, and her daughter died of an overdose. While skeptics argue it's all coincidence, the volume of misfortune tied to this single stone is undeniably bizarre. Fact number 3, the soldier's secret weapon, rubies for invincibility. Prepare yourself, because at number 3, we have a fact that is both bizarre and visceral. In ancient Burma, now Myanmar, the ruby was prized not just for beauty, but for a darker purpose. It was believed to grant invincibility in battle. This wasn't just about wearing a protective amulet. According to Burmese folklore, some warriors took this belief to a shocking extreme. They believed that to truly harness the ruby's power, the stone had to become one with their body. To do this, soldiers would actually insert rubies into their own flesh, embedding the gems under their skin before combat. They were convinced this would make them invulnerable to wounds from swords, spears, or arrows. The intensely colored pigeon's blood rubies from Burma were considered the most powerful. This belief highlights a totally different side of our relationship with crystals, not as passive objects, but as active sources of power worth embedding into your own body for ultimate protection. Fact number 2, the crystal that powers your life, quartz and the tech revolution. You might be watching this on a computer or a smartphone. You might check the time on a digital watch afterward. None of it would be possible without our number 2 bizarre fact. The unassuming quartz crystal is the silent beating heart of modern technology. This all comes down to a property called piezoelectricity, discovered in 1880 by Jacques and Pierre Curie. This is the ability of certain crystals, like quartz, to generate a tiny electric charge when they're put under mechanical stress. But the truly revolutionary part is the reverse. If you apply electricity to a quartz crystal, it will vibrate at an incredibly precise and stable frequency. In quartz watches, a battery sends electricity to a tuning fork-shaped quartz crystal, causing it to vibrate at exactly 32,768 times per second. A microchip counts these vibrations to keep perfect time. This same principle of a stable frequency is fundamental to radios, computers, and GPS. That little piece of silicon and oxygen is the metronome keeping our entire digital world in sync. The engine of the 21st century is, in fact, ancient stone. Fact number 1, the living stone generating electricity from rock. And here we are at the number 1 most bizarre crystal fact. We've talked about crystals that change color, hold stars, and run our technology. But what could be more like a superpower than creating electricity from seemingly nothing? Our number 1 fact, a deeper dive into the raw power of piezoelectricity. Forget complex tech and imagine this. You pick up a rock, squeeze it, and it creates electricity. That is the piezoelectric effect. When you apply pressure to a quartz crystal, you physically deform its internal atomic lattice, causing a separation of positive and negative charge, which creates a voltage. This effect is so reliable that it's used in countless everyday objects. That button on your gas grill that clicks to create a spark, you're pressing a button that strikes a piezoelectric crystal with a tiny spring-loaded hammer. The crystal instantly generates a high-voltage charge, enough to create a spark that ignites the gas. No battery, no external power, just electricity generated from a physical impact on a crystal. It is the ultimate bridge in the physical and energetic world. The fact that you can squeeze a rock and have it produce electricity is the most direct and bizarre demonstration of the hidden power in the crystal world. From atomic structures that defy our expectation to stones that powered Viking voyages, and now our digital age, the world of crystals is infinitely stranger than we ever imagined. They aren't just passive objects, but active participants in our history technology. They can see double, hold stars, change color, even generate their own power. The next time you see a crystal, remember the unbelievable secrets it might be hiding. The universe has packed some of its most mind-blowing, beautiful, powerful stones. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you want to keep exploring the hidden wonders of our world, make sure you're subscribed. Until next time, keep questioning.